that once a day she'll send me an email saying that people want to talk to me, and then I will make sure that I'm in the office at least twice a week.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's have, yeah, you've been up here so much. So you'll still get there though, you'll still get there.
My name is Celine Druin, Unit 6. I want to talk about the gate. I just want to share that with you because when you people talked about it a little while back, you said to be very patient and someday you'll be parked there, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so there's a car in front of me. So the gate opened up, he left. Well, I waited for the gate to come down and go up again.
But it didn't.
Well, the guy in the shack says, "Would you move? Go." Well, which one do you want?
Okay, this is the problem, and this is a problem that we've been kind of watching it and observing it. On the outbound, there is actually a stop sign, okay? And that stop sign makes sure that your barcode does not, if you stop at the stop sign, your barcode will not go, it won't initiate. On the inbound, there is no stop sign. So what happens is that everybody comes up, there's no stop sign to say stop before your barcode. That's the problem that there is, and we have to see if that's our property or not before we can put any other signage there. But that's my observation, that you come in and you do wait, but your barcode has already triggered the gate. So that's something that we are looking at, and we will discuss that more so we can see if there's something. But that's what the problem is.
Well, I don't know why you had to scream. I mean, I wasn't sitting there waiting.
Exactly, but that's, yeah, and that is something that you can address with Doctor, I keep calling you Doctor today, Captain Schubert. Yeah.
No pay increase.
Yeah, no pay increase, you're gonna make enough. Yeah, but when you have things like that, instead of us talking amongst ourselves out there, it's so helpful when you just come to the office and let them know about what time it was so that they can look at the records. It's like I've heard that, they're going through stop signs and stuff. Well, it doesn't, that becomes gossip, but coming here, and I thank you, then you can let him know about what, when that was, so he can speak to the individual guard, because that's not, but we don't know who it is. Okay? Yeah. So maybe you can talk with Captain
It
Schubert.
would have been a line. I would have asked him for his name.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, you just tell him the time and he'll be able to know who it is. And then they do discipline them. Okay. Any votes? Huh? Rich is, okay, then it'll be you, sir, and then it'll be you, sir? Okay.
Hi, Rich Stratton, Unit 3. On a happy note, no problems, everything's fine. Let you know, every first Saturday of the month, right here in this room, the stage, we do a social dance. So you people that don't know about that, you come on out. It's a dance, you bring your own BYOB, bring your snacks. We have about 34, depending what time of the year, the table set up. I have tickets available. When you come on out, enjoy yourself. They're $7. It's just staying at home and watching the TV, which you don't want to do probably to pay for it. Pay $7 for have a good time. We have entertainment, we have coffee, you bring your snacks, you have a good time. And you have a good time dancing. Thank you very much.
And I have heard it's a great time.
3 TVs.
3 TVs, yeah. Okay. Yeah, wait. This gentleman first. Oh. Well, we'll let him go first. He just.
Gemmulosis, Section 4. First, this is the first time I've attended this meeting. I'm quite impressed with the people here, and I'm going to raise an issue that is near and dear to my heart, actually my health. and that is that my wife claims I can hear a flea fart from 40 feet. So, and so she said, I can't wait for you to get old. And I said, but if I get old and lose my hearing, you're going to get, again, older and lose more of your hearing. So I'm always going to be able to hear better than her, it seems to be. My issue is that I have paid for entertainment here. And I have a question that may blow my further comments back. The contracts that you signed with the entertainment that you hire, does it include our ability for us to regulate the volume that they're working at? I brought this to Ken's attention. He's my neighbor, and Ken said something very near and dear to my heart. We're all about safety. Now, in my outrage of walking out of here, I sputtered and muttered and spoke to some of the people in the back of the room, and they told me to be quiet. That's exactly what I was hoping. The last event that I attended here was the Four Sisters. Nobody walked out. The prior one, there were throngs of people walking out. Although we are a private organization and not held to OSHA standards, there is a recommendation, and I see people like Phil Caparelli, depending upon what he's doing, he wears hearing protection. So the volume is a critical component to our hearing health. I'd like to know if in the contract that you sign with somebody that you retain the right and the responsibility of regulating the volume of the sound. Because hearing does injure you. I don't know, could somebody respond to that, what that contract reads like?
Hi, Jim.
Hi.
In regards to exactly what the contract looks like, I cannot. I can tell you this, that both the Monday night entertainment and the Thursday night entertainment are run by two different organizations. Both of those have different contracts with the individuals. I have hearing loss also. I know there's been nights when I've taken my hearing aids out sitting there. My wife looks at me and goes, "That's not fair." But that's the way it goes. I would suggest that if you need to know or looking for what it says in the contracts, that you would contact the persons, I can't remember Linda's last name, that's in charge of the Monday night shows, and inquire with her, or you could check with Larry Vivian Smith or Dick Terrio in regards to the Thursday night shows. I know in most cases, I know the Thursday night show has background or has volume checks early. I'm not sure about the Monday night shows, but a number of times, if it's voice and it's too loud towards the back, they will turn that volume down just a little bit. Are you referring to last night's show?
No, I was not involved in that at all.
But those contracts are those two organizations have the contracts with the talent people that they work with that bring the groups in. That's where the contract is. It's not with, we don't have say over those contracts.
So it's possible then for us to be harmed by a contract that isn't measurable for our health.
I would have to say probably yes, if that volume was too loud, it could be there.
As a consumer, and I'm paying for the tickets, if I walk out because I'm being harmed, can I get a refund?
I would say probably no, but that would be up again to those organizations that run those two. They have control over the tickets, the money, and those contracts.
So at any point in time, and I'll share this being a previous owner of several businesses, I got involved in everything because I took a personal philosophy that if something's wrong, it starts from the top. So I went and onto the internet, to apps, and I find that even a low-level smartphone has and I'm not sure if I'm gonna call it the right thing, an audio meter that is, has gradations on it. I suspect that everybody has many people would have such a phone. If people were, and this is a suggestion, you're free to take it, throw it away, do anything you want with it. If there were people in each of the corners of the room, because the volume up at the front, if that's where their speakers are, could be breaking an OSHA number, whereas it not in the back. So it has to do with balancing of the speakers, the volume of the speakers. I have not seen any activity by a person in power to go over to the soundboard and say, this must be lowered. In turn, what I do is just walk out, so I lose money on it. But I still maintain my health, because it's important to hear that flea from 40 feet.
I'll do this for you. I will volunteer to get with both of those parties as a member of Brookridge. I will get with both of those parties to see what I can find out for you, and I'll address that back at our next meeting for you.
Thank you.
It would just seem like it's pretty hard for them to control when people that are sitting up at the front is definitely going to sit louder than the people sitting in the back. And I know people with the back have harder might have hearing loss, and I would think it would be hard to regulate the sound all the way back.
The soundboard people, it's called balancing. And you do
Okay.
To make it equitable and not harmful.
Thank you, and Ron has graciously accepted that challenge to meet with them as a member of Brookridge, because as the Brookridge Board of Directors, that is not part of our duties. But thank you, Ron, and you can report back the next meeting. Okay. And sir, you've been waiting. He jumped up ahead of you. He started walking.
My name is Ralph Wilkes, number 6. And my question, who owns the property that the sign sits on?
The front sign?
The front sign.
The county owns the property that the front sign sits on.
Just like parking on the stones, is there any clause at the county that once we change the sign, we can no longer do anything to the sign?
The county, we have been in touch with the county and about that sign. We did this a year and a half ago. The county owns the property there. We had talked about, somebody had suggested that we buy the property. We buy the property, we're responsible for the liability of all the cars that will hit that sign or onto that thing. What they have done is because they own the property, we cannot tear the sign down completely. We can only renovate it and maintain it. And that is, we're keeping the basic structure of it. And if you can see, if anybody's noticed, we've had a lot of activity there lately, that they have been going down and looking. I am very happy to say that we had a resident come forward in December. This is what she did for a living. She was a very high-powered lady that did all kinds of signs in Chicago. She has many people that she knows. She has many contacts, and she is hoping, so I'm hoping that many of you will come to the February 11th meeting so you can get an update on it. We may not have to spend, we will probably spend no more than $25,000 on this sign. But she has gotten us, she has spoken to the county commissioners, she has spoken to the ones that give the building permit in the zoning board, and she has a very good rapport with them. She's doing everything exactly by the book, and she is helping us to get contractors so we can subcontract it itself. So it will probably be cost less, it will definitely cost less than what the other company had anticipated. And we are working with that. As a matter of fact, we hired an engineer this week to do the blueprints, and he's hoping to get them done by Wednesday, so we can look at contractors. And you know, it's a whole bidding process and stuff, but if we get different contractors to do different things, it won't be as overwhelming as what it would have been. And she is working with the county. The county has told us that we've owned that, we've been on that property. We take care of that property. All the property, all of the median from the road to the guard shack, okay? Brookridge gets paid, what, about $300 a month, a year? $500 a year to maintain that property for the county, yes. So it would be no advantage to us to buy that property, because then we'd have to pay taxes. We don't want to pay taxes. But we maintain it. Does that help?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Rob.
Yes, I got one last thing. Seeing that the sign was brought up, our son came to visit us a week ago. And you know the county took down those trees coming down from the west? Well, I never even brought this up to him. He walks in the house, we sit down, have a beer, how you doing? He goes, what's with that horrid sign you got there? First impression. Nobody ever mentioned anything to him, never been here before, drives into the community, and you know what he said? He says, that looks like a trailer park. So,
And you know, having those, and that was, taking those trees down was,
It stands out like a sore thumb now.
yeah, but it was a direct relation. We called the county as soon as people brought it up at one of the last meetings about the sign. So let's see if we can, and the county actually apologized to us, because they actually hid a business sign. And that's not what the county is supposed to do. So all of those trees are gone, and now you can really see it.
actually, I gotta refrain it. He came from the east, not the west.
Okay, is there any further business? Gary has one more thing.
Gary on Unit 3. This month I happen to be one of the voting members of the NRA, National Rifle Association, and their ballot and their envelope comes in the magazine. So you vote, fill out the form, just pretty much like we do, put it in the envelope, and then it has little instructions at the top. Be sure you seal the envelope, whatever, and be sure you sign the envelope. Has a long flap like this. You put it down, it covers all that up, so that when they open it, they can pull it down and see. Twice this month, or last few weeks, somebody came to me and says, how come I have to sign this envelope for the ballot? Well, as far as I know, it's been told to me in the past, and Ray or Ron can maybe help me out on this, that's to certify that you were the voter and that you put it in the envelope and that you sealed it. However, our signature is at the bottom of the envelope, so they're concerned about their signature going through the mail. The only thing I could tell them was, they told me that if you don't sign that envelope and it comes in, they just put it in the shredder if it's not signed. Now, I don't know if that's true, but anyway, I told them the best thing you do is just take it down to the office and drop it in the box.
We do not.
I'm not sure everybody can do that. So anyway, that was just something.
To answer the question, we do not dispose of signed ballots. Thank you.
What's that?
We do not dispose of signed envelopes.
Well, unsigned?
Unsigned, no. They're all properly
As long as
counted.
the name and everything is
As
up
long as the
Correct.
name and
there. So you
address.
don't really have to sign it?
We,
It was put on several years ago when the county was pushing for proper ID. We don't even have anything to compare it to.
Okay,
So it was added to it. Whether you sign it or not is for your own peace of mind.
okay. Thank you.
make sure that, right.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people, and we had quite a few, maybe about 60 or 70 last year that didn't get counted because they didn't put them, because if you just put the ballot one in, we don't know who you are, so we can't check off
Right, not because of signatures,
No,
no.
not because of signatures.
All of our envelopes are maintained also, we keep all the documents, so if anybody ever came in and said, I'd like to see all the voting documents from 2017, once they fill out the paperwork, we have those documents. So anybody can do a count.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion to adjourn this
I'll make a
meeting.
motion to adjourn.
I'd like to have a discussion about that.
No discussion, no. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, people.